Well, hello everybody and welcome to today's episode about menus. We're going to be creating advanced menu systems, and I decided to split this episode into two episodes. Today I am just going to be using the vanilla spigot or paper API, and in the next one I'm going to actually show you a library that I like to use to create a very advanced menu systems. So how do you actually create a menu in Minecraft? Let's jump right into it. First of all, as I always say, please make sure that you have your Java skills on point and also the basics of Bukkit. The basics of Bukkit you can actually learn by following this tutorial series. However, Java, it gets a bit tricky. Typically, I see people flip this over. If they just rely on the free stuff online, it gets pretty disorganized, outdated, and unsupported. That's why I really invite you to check the link in the description for the project-oriented training, which contains a full Java course if you've never coded anything before and you want to understand what public, class, implements, and all these weird things right here, if, and the brackets and the exclamation mark means. Go check that out. Not only it contains Java, but it also contains a full-length 7-week Minecraft coding tutorial, how to build mini games, custom entities, advanced menu systems. It's basically this entire YouTube tutorial times 200, right? Plus it has me twice per week on something called live coaching calls where I can jump on and answer your questions live, including you can share your screen and everything. Now, having said that, before we get started, please make sure to have followed the video in this series about commands, because I'm going to be assuming a lot of things already, and these tutorial series, they build upon each other. So I have already pre-created a command. You can see my GitHub right here. By the way, the link to the source code is in the description in the blog post below, so you can check that out as well. So here is a GUI command. It's a very simple command. Let me actually show this in IntelliJ because it's a bit bigger, better to read. So make sure you have that. If you are familiar with this training and you watched the command videos, this is as easy as going into the other command that we've created, duplicating it, and then all we do is we do a simple little check against the running from the console, right? So that's it. And then I simply get the player. So that's one thing that you're supposed to have. The other one is a simple listener. We explained what listeners and events are. We have a dedicated video just for that. If you need to refresh your knowledge, head over there and head over to your IntelliJ and also implement basic listener, listening to click event and close event. Leave this on empty because I'm going to be teaching you what to put inside there in just a minute. And then make sure to register the command in our plugin. Where's that? Plugin YAML folder file, which is this one. I just typed in GUI, very simple command, and make sure to head over to the main class of your plugin and then set the executor to the command class, as well as register listeners to the GUI listener class. Having that out of the way, let's jump into the coding stuff. So the way we actually create an inventory is you're going to open up in Bukkit and then type in create inventory right here. Now, this takes in an inventory holder and a size. I'm not going to be dealing with these other types because you can just explore them yourself. And I'm just going to be dealing with the very basic ones, such as the chest inventory. So the inventory holder is going to be the player. And then there's going to be the size of the inventory, which has to be a multiplier of 9. Basically, that means if I join and open up a chest on my testing server, this is how it's going to look like. So you can basically just have inventories of different chest sizes. The smallest one just contains 1 row. So that's 9. 9 times 2, it's 18. That means it's going to have 2 rows. If you want inventory of the same size, which you can see on the screen, just type in 9 times 3. And I think the biggest one you can do is 9 times 7. However, this is going to glitch out because it can't be properly rendered. So actually the maximum, I think, is 9 times 6 or 9 times 7. You can try it yourself. I always forget that. All right, that's that. I do also think you can set the title of the inventory. However, I do think that we had the opportunity to set the title inside the create method. Where is that? Create inventory, size, and then the string title. Yeah, it is deprecated, but I do not expect you guys to know how to use these components because Paper introduced components in a couple of versions ago. I can cover components in a separate video. For now, I'm just going to be using strings. So let me type in preferences menu. I can also use chat colors. Let me put in, say, dark blue. So preferences menu. That's right. And then what you can do, you can either set the contents of the inventory by putting the array of item stacks, or you can set the items at different indexes. Now, what is an index? So basically, if I put a chest here, this index is 0, right? This index is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically 0 to 8 is the first row. If you want to do this, you can do something like this, 0 and then the item stack. Or if you want to do the set content, then the array basically has to be of the size of the entire inventory, which you can get easily by calling get size. I'm just going to do the simplest thing, set item. Okay, set item. So I want to do the item, say right here, and right here. So given that one is 0 and that one is 8, 9, 10, 11, that has to be. And then the other one is going to be 13 and 15. Great, we have now edited this according to some basic options. I just want to show you guys how to give yourself a diamond, clear your inventory, and maybe clear the weather. These options are completely up to you. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create very advanced inventories, including pages, paginations, and containers, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. If you need to refresh your memory on how to create custom items, we actually have a previous video covering this, so I'm just going to take a pause. I'm going to implement basically just some custom lores and custom titles for these menu items. Okay, that's it. Not much to do. Bukkit is a bit verbose. It means you have to code a lot. That's why I'm going to teach you the library next time, because you will literally be able to cut this entire thing right here. Actually, this entire thing right here into just maybe 4 or 5 lines of code. I'm not joking. So this is how to create a basic inventory. Now what do we have to do? We need to simply open it. So call player.open inventory. Now, what I do also recommend, there's a couple of ways how people sort of store the inventory. Some people just like to store it by name, and then they go into their listeners, and then they compare if the inventory that's been clicked contains that name. That is good enough, but the conflict might be that if multiple plugins use the same name, obviously that never practically happens. But there is actually a better way, and I do recommend just setting the metadata opened menu to the player. I covered metadata, I think, in the very second video. So we can just create a new fixed metadata, cow cannon, get instance, and then we can do the inventory right here, just like that, right? Or we can simply put the fixed metadata as, say, preferences menu, and this is unique because it is tied to your own plugin, right? And here we can simply check, so player, get player. I think you have to cast it to the player because it returns something called human entity, which is barely used these days. So you can just cast it to a player pretty much each time. And if player has metadata opened menu, we'll simply remove the metadata so we can clean it, right? And here, I'm just gonna get the player again. And then if player, say, has metadata, I can simply cancel the clicks. Now you can even go as far as going into the player get metadata opened menu, and then get the first index, right? And this is going to be a string, so a string. And then you can say if it equals to preferences menu, if you just want to make sure that the specific menu is being used, right? However, for this video, for this demo, I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in preventing players from sort of clicking and stealing items away from the menu. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to even let players do that and how to implement more advanced features there. But this is a good start. So, however, you know, if this happens, we can simply get the clicked item and perform actions, and I'll just let the AI do the job. Hopefully it can. All right, great. Well, this is what the AI said. The AI is very smart because it relies on the slot numbers. That means if you have multiple diamonds at different slots, it is not going to conflict. So if I click the slot 11, right, I'm just going to add the item which doesn't exist. So we have to create a new item stack to our inventory, and then we can actually close the inventory. I leave that up to you if you want to do that, right? And then if the slot is the middle slot, I'm just going to clear my own inventory. And if the slot is 15, I'll just disable Storm and Thunder in the player's world. If you want to disable Storm and Thunder in every world, we can simply iterate through world, Bukkit, get worlds. just like that, right? And then vault.setStorm. So I'll leave that up to you. That is it, guys. That is how to create a very basic command, a very basic inventory. Obviously, that is very primitive. I'm going to show you how that works in the game, but if you really want to take full advantage of menu systems, head over to the next video right after this one, where I'm going to show you more tricks. Okay, guys, welcome to the preferences menu. I just typed in /GUI. As you can see, the menu is a bit big because I completely forgot the fact that I instructed you to set the size to 6. Let me just do it for 3 and see what happens. There we go. Now it looks pretty good. So preferences menu, if I click get diamond, I am given a diamond, right? If I click clear inventory, I'm taking away the diamond and hopefully everything else. And then if I click clear weather, hopefully I can do that. Toggle down, fail. Now, weather. There we go. Weather, rain. Yeah, now it's raining. And if I go here and I click clear weather, it says set the weather to... No, that's my command. There we go. Now it disabled the weather. So that's how it works. Very basic and primitive way. I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you want to learn way more than this, check the training. It's called Project Orion in the link in the description. I'm on there to personally help you with Minecraft plugins. I know it can be really confusing following all these tutorials. They also get outdated really quickly, and the support is missing because I can't personally speak with you and I can't personally answer questions fast. Otherwise, we would have to engage in these very long discussions in the comments, which is very, very frustrating and confusing. So head over there, check the training, and if you want to take on this video, check the next video in this series where I'm going to be teaching you the library to create even more advanced menus than any other YouTube tutorials ever did. Thank you so much and take care.